And I don't know if anybody will identify with this process or the information that I'm saying, but if you're investigating yourself, hey, how's it going? Thank you for being here. Super appreciated. One person can always change the world, just so you know. It's like mood lighting. I feel like I'm like doing an audition for something. I think it's time that through the course of how we express ourselves on a spiritual platform or how we have conversation with each other, to understand what healing actually can look like when you really begin to grow and you really begin to see healing take effect in your life. I don't know if people honestly share that much about their own healing process to the degrees of what has altered, because I think the vulnerability it takes to be upfront about what you may or may not have been doing before, even if you are a spiritual person or, guiding people. And that just doesn't help us, right, as a collective. So there's two levels of healing, right? There is personal healing, where you're working on your personal traumas, your injuries, your obsessions, your addictions, the things that you kind of feel in the space that you are. Then there is a collective, right? So you're doing collective healing as well. So the collective healing, this is designed to mitigate collateral issues that come as a collective. For instance, maybe climate shift, things like that. A cause that would be perceived as something we need to work or strive to complete or put into action. So those are two types of healing, first off. And I think that majority of people find it a lot easier to go into a collective style of healing because you're not centralizing it on the main factor that facilitates even the collective healing. Your personal healing is the pathway to the collective healing, because it's important. You're an important part of it. Now, and the beauty of it is that healing never stops. Your body, if healing stopped, your body's immune system would hit a peak and then come back down. You wouldn't have the flexibility to heal in the body over and over and over from injury, right? So healing is a natural state. Healing is something that happens all the time. Healing is a state of being. It is what you experience as a embodied soul. So if I'm always healing, that means I'm always going to be learning about myself. I'm always going to be exploring myself on a deeper level. So self-healing is definitely going to take some interaction. I'm going to have to be involved in my own healing. If I'm healing all the time, so waiting to be perfect for the perfect situation, not a problem. You don't need to do that, right? You don't have to wait to be completely healed before you are ready to be here. So healing is happening all the time. So don't punish yourself because you feel that you're not complete or that you're not healed 100%. That doesn't mean that love won't find you. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve love. That doesn't mean that love is not available. But what it does mean that if, for instance, if I want to go towards something, I generally want to walk that direction. I don't want to walk, and pass it. I don't want to walk away from it. I want to walk towards it. So if you're looking for love in your life, if you're looking for that deep healing, that deep connection with other people, if you want to believe in a soul tribe, a soul family, if you want to exercise your spirituality as an embodied being with a celestial connection to source, I believe that you want to walk to the cognizance of healing. You want to be compassionate with yourself. You don't want to isolate yourself like you have some kind of disease. You don't want to just focus on yourself like, okay, so I can't get love because I'm hurting. I can't be present for this because I don't have that. That's scarcity as well. So abundance is the state of being that means that you recognize that you're part of everything. All things come together to facilitate you on your healing path. That can also mean that that person that you've been waiting for to support you could pop into your reality right now and support you through this and be a huge factor in that possibility. So don't minimize that. Don't, again, separate yourself from the possibility of that outcome. Now, when we're looking at certain things, I go to some terms that are key. I used to say download a lot. Let me arrange that in a way that it makes it a little bit easier to digest. I'm not getting spiritual downloads. I'm having a spiritual dialogue. A download would mean something that is given to me, whether it's with my will or against my will. Just information put into my head against whatever I might think was holy. This isn't how it happens. I'm engaging my spiritual source. I'm engaging Pachamama. I'm having a dialogue. I have a dialogue with my guides. I have a dialogue with my spirit tribe. I have a dialogue with people in my life. A dialogue means it's a two-way street of communication. I can speak to Pachamama and express my own personal opinion, my own power, with expressed to her as she's going to give me information back. I'm as important to her as she is to me. When you perceive God, God is not an entity that is above you. God is an entity that is part of you. It is here to be part of your experience. All of it. Even the parts that might seem impractical. Even the parts where you might feel that that could be painful. God is still there, hip deep, doing it with you. So it's a dialogue. It's a personal walk with waking up. The ascension process is a communication. It's a communal. You're having a communion with the divine. The divine, again, separates something into a selection that makes us think that it's not who we are. Let's do that in a way that it works. I'm having a communication. I'm having a communion with what's within me and what's without me in the ether. It's a spiritual symphony. It's something that's being seen and it's expressed through my actions and my intentions. I am as special to God as God is special to me. So there's a symbiosis there. There is a beautiful camaraderie with your Creator. Your Creator is not here to be your oppressor. You don't have to impress your Creator. Striving to be something, you don't have to. You're already it. So it's a recognition of what your role really is. In my healing journey, just to give you an example, so that we can be real right now, so that shit can get real. I was abused at 4 years old. There was a part of me that was abused at 4 years old that was very functional, that was very aware that it was wrong, that was very ready to right the wrong, to make it known. This was not acceptable. This was suppressed. This was not something that was recognized. Why? Because as parents, we are serving a God outside of us. For most people in the Western world, we're serving something that is so far above us that we feel beneath it. So inadvertently, we raise everyone around us the same way. We treat people the same way. Like there's a class system that's outside of creation. No. So the 4-year-old that wanted to express their truth and wasn't necessarily recognized was completely already in alignment with all the tools that it takes to live this life effectively. Your intuition. So now that I've healed all the elements of my past and been able to close those doors and heal those wounds, I walk by fresh baked cookies. They're not organic. They're not even close to organic, loaded with compressed sugar. I would have binged on about 3 of those and felt guilty. Injury. I was enjoying injury by punishing myself, by putting myself into a situation where guilt would override whatever goodies those were. That was a battle. That was a struggle. That was a tug of war. Many of you are in this tug of war. I was bulimic in high school. I felt beneath other people. That was dangerous because I had the design that everything I should have been doing could have been done effectively had my parents known the proper way to initiate that which was already born in me. But they didn't have the skills to do that. We're going to change that. We're going to give the practical ideas to people that can raise these warriors in a way that they already know what's right for them. How does this happen? Well, I walked by that same cookie box today, these fresh baked cookies that are just waiting to jump into my injury. They actually made me nauseous today. That's the first. But you know what? I downed a whole cooler full of grapes. Now, am I forcing myself to do that? No. I was forcing myself to eat the cookies because I needed the guilt that came with it. That guilt repressed me back into a class system where I wasn't part of creation. I was outside of it, suffering, in solitude, not able to see the deep connection that is within me, serving a God that was outside of me, that I had to jump for, I had to hope for, I had to get their attention any way I could. See me, see me, see me. I'll do whatever it is. I'll give you 10%. I'll say this. I'll say that. Can I be? Can I be? Can I please come? Can I please come? That's not God. That's not God. She's much more nurturing than that. Just like any good mother, she's here to love you, to serve you, to nurture you, so that you know that you are one with her. You are her blood. You are her body. Communion that we heard was in reverse. You are my blood. You are my body. Let's share this. Let's be this. The seventh day I rested because I gave the reins to you. Do what you do because you are me. Now, in the awareness of having my dialogue with the divine mama, I'm getting some damn shit done. I feel so good about it. I feel so in this moment. Even my body, the things that I was built to have as my assets in life. My awakening was supposed to start when I walked into the world. In some ideas, it did. Everything is divine. I'm not bashing anything that happened. It's beautiful. But going forward, we have the capability to create and to have little creators come out and manifest this magical society that we've never seen before on this planet. They will be calling out in a way because they have everything that they need to work and get it worked on. They are in this world and they are ready. We were the ones that weren't ready because we were disconnected. We didn't know what to do. And it's been divine time the whole time. So now we do. So now we know that a child is born into this world not with sin, not with secondary issues, not suffering. They're built with the complete capability to create as the Creator has seen them. They're closer to God than we could ever be at that moment of conception. Bang! When they're born, they are the baddest ass being that's ever been put on the face of this earth. They're so close to the good mother that that mother knows. She gave them everything they need to survive, except one thing. She gave us the power and the free will to follow her lead and to feed those children, to feed those people, to feed those beautiful people we see every day, to feed them the same thing she feeds us. Potential, open doors, opportunity, complete love, connection, communication, and communion on a beautiful level. This is the thing she's setting us up for. This is awakening. This is the shift. This is that new earth that you were wanting. So, just sharing that right now before I busy off into the night and go to my beautiful sleep, which I don't. I used to lie to myself. I used to tell myself, I think I said that earlier. I used to tell myself, oh shit, I'm enlightened. I don't need to sleep more than 2 hours. Oh no, hell, I wasn't enlightened. I was frightened because I couldn't go to bed because there was things in my head that I didn't want to see. Memories from young years that were not supposed to be there. But they were, so we walked in it and we dealt with it. And now because we did, everything is perfectly placed at the right time. Nothing was ever wrong. Everything was completely right. And where you are right now, listening to this, whoever you pass this to, whoever gets to be part of this sit down right now, it's going to ring in your ears and it's going to ring so beautifully in your mind and your heart that you're going to feel very connected right now. Everybody, have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I will see you all when I see you. I don't feel pressure to be here. I'm here because I love you. Like I said earlier, I don't really care if I get a like or if you like me. My point is, I would really love for you to experience what I experienced so that you can see yourself. So that you can look into the mirror and you can love yourself. You can actually not judge yourself, Because everything you're judging yourself by when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's not you, right? It's everything that you've been through. It's everything that has been weighing on top of you. Like the world on Atlas's shoulders, the world that you carry, that weight, when you walk into something, when you walk on stage and you can't speak because your throat's dry, when you walk in, you want to impress that guy or that girl and you can't do it because you just don't have the confidence, you do have it. It's the things that were done to you that showed you didn't. The truth is, it's been there all along. You see, that's the thing I learned on my journey. That's one of the top things I learned out of ayahuasca. Everything I thought I didn't have, oh, I had it double. And it was beautiful. And when I realized that, I don't even need the confidence to have it. It's just in me. It's just who I was built to be. And that's not even confidence. That's just connecting. That's just connecting the dots for my brother Phil, who I really love, who's been a beautiful, wonderful inspiration during this transition and integration time. I just want to give him a shout out. Go check Phil out. Give him a little high five for me, because he's been amazing in my transition. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being ready to see yourself. Thank you for being able to facilitate finding yourself, the truth. And the truth is, whatever you've done before today doesn't really matter. It's what you do from today forward that does. Get with that. Love you all.